And how's it going, guys? Josh Olufemii here, live from LA. And it seems like my 5-year Hardline Pro video editing PC stance has finally paid off, and the Asus decided to randomly send me one of their new Zenbook Pro Duo laptops about 3 months ago for me to try out. About 2 years ago, when I was back in Australia, I actually had a company build me a pretty dope video editing desktop PC. It had an Intel Core i7 processor, about 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of external SSD storage, and a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 Ti graphics card. I've always been an advocate for video editing on PC desktops due to its great price to performance ratio, but maybe it was just my ignorance. I'd never heard of a PC laptop that had the form factor and the specs that would impress me for video editing, let alone replace my PC video editing desktop. Introducing my new beautiful, dually touchscreen, powerful as heck Asus Zenbook Pro Duo laptop. I'll be honest, it's getting dope products like this in the mail that makes making YouTube videos worth it a lot of the time. If you've been watching my Instagram account for the last few months, you'll know that this month, my Asus campaign is finally coming to an end. It first started with a pretty dope commercial shoot down in LA, where I actually got to get my hand on the machine and put it through its paces. And then for the last 3 months, I've been using this beast mainly on making YouTube tutorials, editing music videos, and creating pretty VFX heavy social media posts. In this video, I'm going to tell you what I think about this laptop in 3 really short segments. First, we're going to talk about how much of a powerful laptop this is. Let's talk specs. My laptop has an Intel Core i9 processor with 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of SSD internal storage, and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 graphics card. So if you compare the specs, my laptop's actually more powerful than my current video editing desktop. The performance has actually been pretty impressive. I usually shoot 4K ProRes footage on my Blackmagic Pocket 4K, and I've always enjoyed pretty smooth playback on my timeline when I'm editing music videos or editing tutorials. I actually tried to push the machine to its limits last week when I actually started a music video project that included compositing multiple layers of 4K footage on top of each other. I actually had a pretty crazy masking operation going on, and it was only at that point that I experienced a little bit of timeline lag. I then decided on incorporating some proxies in my workflow, and everything just went back to playing through pretty smooth. The next thing I'm going to explain to you is how the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo is actually a touchable laptop. The Zenbook has 2 touchable screens, one on top and then one on the bottom right above the keyboard. Touching the screen is great for something that I like to call quick editing, whether it be in Premiere Pro, in Google Docs, or even right in my browser. Now previously, of course, I've always edited just using a mouse, but I've always dreamed at having the ability to touch the screen to speed up otherwise time-consuming workflow processes. Now here's the secret. The answer is never a 100% touchscreen workflow or a 100% keyboard and mouse workflow. The most efficient workflow is always going to involve a mix of the two. The more I've used this computer, the more I've seen myself automatically allocating specific functions as either touchscreen functions or non-touchscreen functions based on a lot of reasons, like which method gives me a faster result or even which method offers less wear and tear on my wrists. Regarding touchscreens, let's dive into a few examples when you'd actually use them. Example 1. While typing my speaking points for this very video, I'd frequently default to touching the screen when needing to implement spelling corrections, add spaces, or put in punctuation or formatting. For these specific things, it just felt way more efficient than using the mouse or the trackpad or even the keyboard. Example number 2. Guys, I'll tell you that you have not lived until you're able to actually use your fingers to grasp onto your Premiere timeline, move around the interface, using your fingers to quickly zoom in or scrub on your timeline, or press play on your program window without having to search around for your mouse. Example 3 is a weird one that I never actually realized I'd ever need, but this laptop has something that I like to call the on-screen touch keyboard. Again, this is all about saving those couple of seconds in your workflow. Basically, any text box in your browser is touchable. This brings up the on-screen touch keyboard and allows you to type in any text right from the screen. Again, I don't always use this, but depending on whether I'm laying down, sitting at my desk, or laying on my side, my body seems to prefer one method to another. Example 4. This is something that I guess they call the Asus Pen, which is an active stylus. This is interesting because while technically you could use this as a screen touching tool in an infinite number of ways, I use it mostly for drawing in Photoshop, specifically for making thumbnails or making storyboards. Now this is a fact. The accuracy that you're going to get from the Asus Pen when compared to just the regular computer mouse when drawing is indescribable. So far we talked about how powerful this laptop is. Then we talked about how touchable this laptop is. Now we're going to dive into the two dual screens. The two screens are everything. There's a 4K OLED 15.6-inch touchscreen on top, and there's the 4K Asus ScreenPad Plus touchscreen down on the bottom. When I video edit in Premiere and After Effects, I always place the timeline in the bottom screen. This frees up my entire top screen for my reference window, my program window, and all my other tabs. And check this out, when I screen record for my video production tutorials, I'm able to monitor my OBS output on my top screen straight from my bottom screen without any windows overlapping. What else do I like? I like how the bottom touchscreen has an anti-glare matte finish, which in addition to helping to reduce reflections, it also reduces fingerprint smudges when you're touching on the touchscreen all the time with your finger. Alright guys, that's all I'm going to talk about in this video. This is definitely the powerful on-the-go workhorse that I've needed for a while. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to put them down in the comments below. As far as how much this laptop costs, right now as of January 2021, it's around $3,000 USD, but I'm sure that price might fluctuate depending on the time that you actually watch this video. Guys, please make sure to like this video, please subscribe to this channel, and share this video with anyone that you know that's trying to look for a perfect video editing laptop. It was actually my idea to make this specific video. This video is basically just a thank you for a really quality product, and honestly a really good time that we've had over the last 3 months during this campaign. The actual main video that I did for this campaign, I believe, is on their website somewhere. You guys should check it out. And lastly, any links to this product that I may put in the description actually are not affiliate links. I just honestly love their product. You should check it out. I fully endorse this specific laptop as far as it being your next video editing laptop. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, remember to keep it chill.